gentlemen, it's time to make a Malt Liquor video. Oaktown Hellbilly, aka Mr. Med 40 Ounce, back again with another one. With my Hurricane High Gravity Malt Liquor straight off the dangerous streets of Stockton, California. In order for me to bring you this high quality, authentic Malt Liquor entertainment production tonight. Malt Liquor label out. Delicious. U.S. Bombs Warburth. So this is Vinyl Hall and Malt Liquor Don't Drink in Discogs edition. And I'm going to talk to you tonight. It might be a bit of a long one. You know, we're doing a 40 ounce of Hurricane High Gravity. It might go, we're thinking probably 20 minutes tonight, maybe even more, who knows. A few things to talk about. You know, basically my Discogs haul. I haven't been to any shops in a while, so that'll be next weekend, maybe the weekend after. I don't know yet, but let's get more of this Malt Liquor down. I actually got one of my grails this week, so definitely interesting. And I got another one on the way that did not arrive today like it was supposed to. Probably get here Monday, and I'll talk about it next weekend. Malt Liquor. Absolutely refreshing and fucking delicious. Brewed and packaged by hardworking, patriotic fucking Americans, and you need to support that. All right, let's get into it. Set the tone. All right, cool. So 2 weeks ago, I didn't came up last weekend. 2 weeks ago, after I made my masterpiece, the last one, I was drinking malt liquor, spinning records like I usually do on Saturday evening after making videos. And I went on Discogs after I was probably 3/4 in the bag at that point. I was half in the bag when I cammed up. So, add another couple hours after that, you know, I went on Discogs and I probably spent too much money, but we'll get into that in a moment. Malt liquor. That's delicious. Delicious. I'll do a few shout-outs first. Shout out to 209 J Jones, the Malt Liquor referee, Causa 25, Lone Wolf 420, Rock Bottom 559, and Loot Bag Larry. An extra special thanks, shout out and thank you to Mr. Loot Bag Larry himself, a decent and honorable citizen. Malt Liquor. Shout out to Falstaff, Indiana Malt, Malt Patriot, Hell Toupee 80, Nick Gutted, Brown Bag, a few other ones. You know, we'll get into it as we go along here. Malt Liquor video, Brown Bag time too. All right, so first up, The Business, No Mercy for You. It's a great album. It came out in 2002. I want to say, hold on a second. This is the Burning Heart repress. You know that they, I guess they licensed it out to Burning Heart Records. It was released in 2019. This particular repress, but they hadn't done a repress in a while, as far as I know. This is not one of their more popular albums, but it's one of their albums that I absolutely love. This came out in 02, I think, early 02, maybe late 01. Usually I should know that, but I don't exactly remember, which is odd for me. And I remember around that time, you know, it was in heavy rotation for me. I mean, it's got Takers and Users, Guinness Boys, Hate, Kill, Destroy, You know, boys are out tonight, no mercy for you. I mean, it's just really, is Informer on this one? No, it's not. That's on the next one, but I listened to this album quite a bit 15, 20 years ago, a lot, especially when I was in Iraq, because it's very upbeat, it's very catchy, and it just fucking grabs you like it did me, you know. And during my first deployment to Iraq, I listened to it a lot. I made sure I brought it with me. I had it on CD at the time, and now I'm lucky enough to own it on vinyl, and I absolutely love it. I spun this last night after work. You know, it's great. Great album. The Business, No Mercy for You. Highly recommend it. Pick that up. There's a fresh repress from 2019. There's copies are available. Malt Liquor. I got that on Discogs. I think it was like 22 bucks. And of course with shipping, I mean, and tax, California, they rape you with taxes. It's bullshit. But that's how it goes. You know, so whatever. But, you know, that arrived 4 or 5 days ago now. Next up. This came in yesterday. Charge GBH, Leather, Bristles, No Survivors, and Sick Boys. And this is a 1982 Sanctuary Records compilation album. And it was repressed last year by Radiation. So, you know, look at, I mean, it's got a cool cover on it, and it has a lot of their classic ones on here. You know, fucking No Survivors, Sick Boy. Those are the two ones that everyone really knows from this band. Even if you're not into punk, you'll know those songs when they come on. GBH is a staple of punk rock. You know, they just have that fast, aggressive style. It's very catchy. You want to just keep listening. You know, you want to listen over and over and over again. This is one band I have not yet had the pleasure to see. Hopefully they can come back to the USA either this year or next year, and I can go see them. Never seen them. But GBH, Leather, Bristles, No Survivors, and Sick Boys. Great compilation album. And that's going to get cracked open this evening and listened to. Probably spun twice. Who the hell knows? Malt Liquor. Anything could happen here, ladies and gentlemen. It's live television. At some point, I might even go live. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Now, back to business, quite literally. The Business, Hardcore Hooligan. This came out in 96 or 97. Hold on a second. This is also a 2019 Burning Heart Records repress, which the band, I think, you know, they allowed them to repress most of their catalog. We still have not gotten a Suburban Rebels repress, which we need. And shout out to Falstaff on that one. I have seen The Business twice with Mickey Fitz as the singer. If they come back to the USA with the other singer that they have, the new singer, I'll still go. I will still go, but it's not the same, you know. It isn't. It's, you know, Mickey was a showman. You know, he could really rile up the crowd quite nicely. You know, and in his later years of performing, you know, he wasn't drinking anymore. So he was probably a little bit more mellow than he was back in the 1980s and early 90s and all that shit. So, The Business, Hardcore Hooligan, great fucking album. It's mostly talking about soccer, which in the USA we call it soccer. They call it football over there, but we know it ain't fucking football. Shout out to Huffy72. Malt Liquor. Now I know that American football is not as popular as, I guess it would be European football, you know, soccer or whatever, worldwide. We know that. But we all know what fucking football is. Malt Liquor. Which I don't have a fucking team anymore. Because the NFL are a bunch of fucking scumbags. And Mark Davis is a fucking scumbag and they took our fucking team away from us. Fuck you, I'll never forgive you for that. Roger Goodell is a fucking piece of garbage. Malt Liquor label out. Malt Liquor video, Rock Bottom 559, time 2. Shout out to Florida 32 Ounce, the most diplomatic man on YouTube. Hopefully still, you know, we're still waiting on that vinyl talk and Malt Liquor video. If you want me to send you a 40 ounce of Malt Liquor down there, I'll do that. It's no problem. I don't mind doing that. Shout out to Roachy 420, Machiavelli 420, and Pro Weed 420, and Gambino 81. Look at that. Look at, study that label. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, the next one is controversial. Before we get into the last part, as you can see, not to outshine the container of malt liquor here, because that's the star of the show. That is the star of the show. None of this shit, not me, right here, the star of the show. Study that. We know what's going on, what the crux of this masterpiece is going to be about tonight. But that's my holy grail right there. We'll get into that in a moment. This is a controversial band, okay? Leftover Crack, Mediocre Generica. This is just one of those albums that I listened to a lot. 2001, 2, 2003, 2004, 2005. I mean, a lot. This got a lot of play. I bought it on CD. I never heard of it. I had heard of Choking Victim, which is the predecessor to the same guys, I think, mostly. But I didn't know about Leftover Crack. They were on, at that time, they were on Hellcat Records, and then they moved over to Alternative Tentacles after that. But this is a fresh repress from last year, maybe this year. The Mediocre Generica. It's just one of those albums. Leftover Crack is a controversial band. I've never seen them live, and I don't think I ever will. That fucking singer, Stizza Crack, is a fucking asshole. I mean, everyone knows what he is. And that record, that album was released on September 11th, 2001. So obviously they were, after everything with all that, you know, we know what happened that day. Once all that kind of died down and things started getting back to quote unquote normal, which they still haven't. Anyways, that's another, I'm not political on this channel, you know that. They started touring, obviously, by probably late 01, early 02. They were probably doing underground shows while it was still unsafe in New York or whatever. But the guy's a fucking asshole, all right? He was talking shit about 9/11. He was talking shit about the people that died on 9/11. You just don't fucking do that. 20 years later, you still don't fucking do that. So but that was unbeknownst to me at the time. Maybe had I known that at that time, I would have thought differently about it, but that record grew on me. I listened to it a lot, especially when I was in Iraq. It was just about every other day, you know. And musically, it's great. Now, as far as the content in there, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I personally am able to separate the art from the artist for the most part. Not always, but for the most part, I can do it. And with that band, I can do it. You know, but the guy's a fucking asshole. Really a fucking jerk off, you know. You don't want to fucking. I'm not going to support that, but I did buy the album twice. I bought it on CD back in December of 2001. Excuse me, November of 2001, right after I left Germany. And I was on leave. I was in Connecticut at the time, and I went to the Record Town, which was just shifted over to the FYE. That was in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. And I picked that up. I was like, Leftover Crack, what the fuck? I said, it had Hellcat Records on it, so I'm like, it's probably decent. I picked it up, and as I was driving home back to my mother's house, I was listening to it. I was like, man, this shit sounds pretty fucking good. There's a lot of different musical styles on there. It is a fucking great album. It's a great punk album. And the one they did in 04, Fuck World Trade, is also a fucking great punk album. I mean, it just is. That should be, even if you don't like that motherfucker, which I don't like him, that should be in your collection if you're into punk like I am. Malt liquor. Okay, now for the grail. Man, we gotta replace that up there. Live TV, folks, it does happen. A little bit of Raekwon the Chef, Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2. I spun that this week twice. Fucking great album right there. A fucking masterpiece of fucking hip hop and rap. Forget about it. All right, the crux of this masterpiece. U.S. Bombs Warbirth, one of my grails, one of my fucking holy grails for vinyl. And I had to, 2 weeks ago, I'm looking, and it was not available for sale on that marketplace on Discogs. And then I refreshed throughout the day, and then there was a copy available, which I got right here. But it was coming from Japan. So it was, I think it was $41 for this. It's still in the, it wasn't a sealed copy. But the jacket still has the shrink wrap on it, so they sliced it on the open end, and that's how they did it. And they saved the shrink wrap, so that the sleeve is almost in mint condition. There's a little bit of corner wear up top. I don't give a shit about that. I buy them to listen to them. You know, that's it. The absolute joy. I said, okay, well that's doable. And then I looked at the shipping, But like I said, I was 3/4 in the bag at the fucking time. Don't drink in Discogs, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a good idea. Anyways, you know, fucking, I thought about it for a second and I just said, fuck it, and I bought it. And this arrived Wednesday afternoon. I was extremely happy about it. I've already spun it 3 times, you know. It's just, this is a masterpiece. This is one of the greatest punk rock albums that's ever been recorded. Dwayne Peters is a fucking genius. He's a great songwriter. He's a great performer. I have seen the band live once. Back in 1999, 2000, 2001, when I was really, you know, when I was into, I'm still into US Bombs. I love the entire discography is fucking awesome. I was living in Germany at that time, and every single fucking time that the US Bombs came to Germany, came near where I was stationed at, I was never able to go fucking see them because either we were on the fucking field training or I was fucking deployed and I couldn't go fucking see them. They came to Houston in 2003, but I was in fucking Iraq. They came to fucking Nashville in 2006, but I was in fucking Iraq. They came to fucking Fort Lauderdale, also in 2006, and I just missed them by a couple of days because my father lives in Miami Beach and I was on leave, and then I was up in Connecticut, and then I had to go back to Fort Campbell. I missed them there. It's like I always fucking missed them, but then when they came to Sacramento in 2019, I said, fuck this shit, I'm going. And it was a work night, I didn't give a fuck. I got home at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get up at fucking 3:05 to go to work. And I did it, and I went to work the next day. It was a tough day, but we fucking handled it, Malt Liquor Label, because that's what we fucking do. That's what we do in the malt liquor drinking community. We work 40 fucking hours a week. Malt liquor. But US Bombs Warbirth is a masterpiece of punk rock. Great album. It's a great live show. If they're touring again, go see him. If he's in Dwayne Peters and the Huns, go see him. The Dwayne Peters Gunfight, go see him. This guy's a great performer. And the songwriting, it's spectacular. You know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea or whatever, but go check him out. US Bombs Warbirth. Don't drink in Discogs, ladies and gentlemen. Drink malt liquor. Buy more vinyl. Approach the motherfucking swill. Some people call it swill. I call it the best fucking part of the whole goddamn thing. Approach the motherfucking swill. I'm half of the bag. Alright, let's fucking do this shit. Alright, Mickey Fitz Mickey Fitz, God rest his soul. Take us the fuck out of here. Over there.